everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. So if you do not know me and if you are new to my channel, welcome, and I make videos on English language and literature. So don't forget to subscribe. So let us begin. Today I'm going to explain the sonnet of John Keats, The Poetry of the Earth. This sonnet is included in the syllabus of class 12 in the West Bengal State Board. So I hope my explanation will help you to prepare this poem a bit better. Let us begin. So at the very beginning we need to know what is a sonnet. A sonnet is a 14-line poem, and the first 8 lines are called an octave and the last 6 lines are called a sestet. So John Keats is a romantic poet. He is the younger generation of romantic poet. So first we need to understand the characteristics of romantic poet. So in the romantic poems, there should be the talks about emotions, feelings, and also the vivid descriptions of nature. There should always also be the concept of escapism, escaping from the current scenario to an imaginary world. Okay, so let us begin the poem. The poetry of the earth is never dead. When all the birds are faint with hot sun and hide in the cooling trees, a voice will run from hedge to hedge about the new mown mead. That is the grasshopper's. He takes a lead. In summer luxury he has never done with his delight. For when tired out with fun, he rests at ease beneath some pleasant weed. So we see at the very beginning the word poetry is personified. Personification means that when we attribute some human quality on some inanimate object. Here poetry is an inanimate object, and the quality of dying is a human quality, and that we are attributing on poetry. Hence poetry is personified. The poetry of the earth is never dead. Means, what is the poetry of the earth? Poetry means the music of nature, the various songs or sounds of nature. Who are the main performers of these songs? Obviously, the birds. So what happens in the summer daytime? The birds get very tired. They seek some shelter under some shadow of some cooling tree. And one might assume that the poetry of the earth, the song of the earth, might stop now. But no, that is not the case. There is someone who takes the lead, who continues the song. That is the grasshopper. The grasshopper sings from hedge to hedge and also on the newly mown mead. The crop has been cut, the fields are freshly cut and smelling of some fresh cut crop, and there the grasshopper is singing. Whenever the grasshopper gets tired with all of his fun and delight, he rests a bit under some weed and then begins again. Thus, the poetry of the earth in the summer daytime, when the birds are tired, doesn't stop. Next, let's look at the sestet. On a lone winter evening, when the frost has wrought a silence, from the stove there shrills the cricket's song, in warmth increasing ever, and seems to one in drowsiness half lost, the grasshoppers among grassy hills. The situation, the time changes from octave to sestet. In octave we were in the summer daytime, in sestet now we are in the winter evening. Now, in the winter evening, the outside world is very cold, dark, it is snowing and it is frosty, everything is still. One might now think that the poetry of the earth now ceased. But no, there is someone who is continuing to sing at this time also. That is the cricket. The cricket lives in the furnace, and when the warmth increases, the cricket's voice also grows sharper. We have a beautiful visual imagery of a person sleeping, like half sleep, in front of the fireplace. The person in his half sleep listens to the song of the cricket and thinks that he has been transported to a summer day, and the song of the cricket is actually the song of the grasshopper. There we get the picture of escapism. The winter evening is very cold and it is a difficult time. And the person in his half sleep goes back in his imagination or dream to the summertime when it was comparatively comfortable. So the song of the grasshopper and the song of the cricket somehow merge together and become one. So this is the beauty of this poem. So I hope my explanation will help you better to understand this poem. And do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. Stay tuned to my channel for more explanations. Till that time, bye-bye.